I realized that I may need to be a little bit more intentional of, am I putting together a wellness event, or am I putting together the combination of a mental health and wellness event? And what does that look like? And what are things that I'm going to have to start being concerned about when it comes to the language and what we're offering the community? With that being said, be honest with yourself when it comes to the people that you're helping out, and be honest with the people that you care for, and also set your boundaries correctly. If you feel lines are being crossed in terms of you trying to help them and be there for them, or the wrong assumptions are being made, it's okay to step away from the relationship for a couple of days and figure out what are the right words to be honest with this person that you're trying to help. Because you helping a friend, you helping a loved one, isn't supposed to come at the sacrifice of you yourself. It's not supposed to turn into something abusive. It's not supposed to turn into something that makes you angry at the thought of what's going on. And it's not supposed to be something, worry is understandable, but once you go from being one thing to being another, and now this person or individual tries to fit you as a cog in their life into every single thing that's an issue, and extra responsibilities start getting thrown on you because you've made yourself available, it's okay to put up boundaries. It's okay to put up boundaries, and it's okay to still figure out how to be friends with newer boundaries and moving around that. Just a word of advice. I've done this quite a few times. It never gets old. It never gets easy. And life isn't supposed to be easy, but doing things from a place of love, sometimes realize that love has a lot of different forms outside of just kindness. So, let's talk about this episode of Mental Health Monday that we just dropped this week. What is art therapy? When it comes to a lot of the work that I've done, especially coming out of 2020, when the world started to open back up in 2021 and 2022, there was a shift in the work that Get Home Safe was doing, where I wanted to incorporate a stronger brand of wellness. And, you know, to my benefit, I was blessed to work with a couple of really great individuals, between Jasmine does yoga, China does sound bowls, Lilu Yoga also does yoga, with the incorporation of cannabis, but that's more something on the side. Yoga is the focus, and the wellness of breathing and meditation and all those other things that you've heard about and you may have experienced or not experienced. I realized that I may need to be a little bit more intentional of, am I putting together a wellness event, or am I putting together the combination of a mental health and wellness event? And what does that look like? And what are things that I'm going to have to start being concerned about when it comes to the language and what we're offering the community? In this interview, we painted while talking, because I've always wanted to do a proper art therapy session and see what that's like, and define what is art therapy. What should you as a client expect from your therapist in art therapy section? What should you, as someone that sees like an art event, like let's say a sip and paint, for example, what should you expect from a sip and paint? And if someone is doing a mental health event, or specifically an art therapy event, what exactly makes an event an art therapy event? And what should they have on site in order to bring mental health to the world of art? And what should be delivered as someone that is attending this for the first time? And in a more clinical sense, what is art therapy in itself, and what is it accomplishing as someone that may not be from that world, or this may be your first time being a part of an art therapy session? During this discussion, Allie, my friend who pulled up for us to have the interview, who's working on her master's program to become an art therapist. So she's done a couple of sessions here and there, and she's done a lot of work, but she's a couple of months removed from being an official art therapist who's already done a couple of sessions. We discussed the importance of the word safe space, how that word is overused and underdelivered in a lot of different rooms. And what does a safe space mean, and why it may be better to call these spaces a peaceful place. When you say a safe space, there are people in the world that may not have ever in their life truly experienced a safe space. So saying we create a safe space to the community, or advertising this is a safe space for you to do this, that, and the third, may come off the wrong way, where in a peaceful place, all of us have had examples of what peace looks like. We know that comes with a time limit. We know what we would like peace to look like. There's examples of peace. And when it comes to the word safe space, because there's been so many things that so many people have gone through, the sentiment is appreciated. But if that space that is called, or the claim to fame is, it is a safe space, and it doesn't deliver what they're looking for within a safe space, you cause ruptures. In causing ruptures, what you tend to see is the close relationship that can happen, the work that you could accomplish, the people that you could be there for, and the resources that you can share. That rupture may always stand in the way of giving the community the resources that they deserve, or the experience that they've never had before, and they now have an example of that. And we could go on to, is this something you can create for yourself? Do you have the right people around you? And may that be playing into things, and why it is hard for you to find a peaceful place for yourself. So peaceful place versus safe space. I know there's going to be a lot of pushback on that, and I understand that, but I do a lot of mental health events. I do a lot of mental health and wellness events. I work with great people that do sound bowl, yoga. We have an all men event that we advertise as a safe space for men to express themselves, and for us to delve into deeper topics that we may not be able to dive into in our ordinary people. And if there's people that are curious, advertising these things are important. So it's the little things right now, but as the little things become bigger, we really try to not only position ourselves, but figure out, are we really doing what's right, and what does that look like?